Welcome to Travel Tutor. In this episode, we're going to look at the top 5 things to do if your flight is canceled. Number 1 is get in line. Line up with everyone else at the airline's desk. This is assuming you're at the airport or close to it. If you're close to the airport, I would recommend continuing on and speaking with somebody in person because that is your best option. Airport staff have more power than the call center agents to do things like rebook, provide compensation, upgrades, etc. So they can really be your best friend in these situations. Number 2 is get on hold. Unless you're at the front of the line, get on hold with the airline's reservations department or your travel agent. They may pick up more quickly and you can get your situation sorted faster. Now, I said before that your best option is to speak with someone in person. However, time really is of the essence, and you just want to have your situation resolved as fast as possible. It could make the difference between traveling today versus traveling tomorrow. Number 3 is know your options. Once you're in line and you're on hold, go to the airline's website or their app and view your booking. The airline may have automatically re-protected you, and you could just be wasting time standing in line and waiting on hold. If you have not been automatically re-protected, look at what flight options your airline has available. Now, there may be situations where your airline doesn't have anything available on the same day or even the next day. In this situation, you want to check what other airlines have on the same route. If they do have availability, your airline can rebook you on a different airline. Most people don't know this, so that's why it's really important to do your research. Now, this only applies if your airline has nothing available on the same day and another airline does. Number 4 is know what you're entitled to. So you need to find out the reason for the cancellation. For example, if the cancellation is due to weather or any other situation that is beyond the airline's control, then likely you're not entitled to anything. There is one major exception to this, which we'll get to in a minute. So in these types of situations, travel insurance is really important. If you're stuck somewhere for days due to weather, you'd have to cover accommodation costs, meals, taxis, phone calls, and things like that. Travel insurance would cover that for you. So if you think you don't have insurance, but you paid with a credit card, call the credit card company. You may be surprised and have coverage. It could save you hundreds of dollars. Now, if the cancellation is due to a mechanical issue or the crew is overtime or something that is directly within the airline's control, then you may be entitled to compensation and to have things like your accommodation and meals covered. Now, regardless of the reason for the cancellation, 99% of the time you are entitled to cancel for a full refund. Doesn't matter the reason for the cancellation. There are some exceptions to this, and that's why it's really important to read all the fine print when you're booking a flight to make sure you know exactly what the rules are and what you're entitled to in different situations. Now, getting back to the exception I mentioned earlier, if you're traveling on an EU-based carrier, so something like Lufthansa or Air France, or you're departing from an EU airport, you are more likely to be entitled to compensation even for weather cancellations and things that are not within the airline's control. It does depend on the length of your delay, but keep in mind, if you're traveling on a European airline, you may be entitled to more. Finally, number 5 is keep calm and be polite. Airline staff are yelled at all the time, so putting on a smile and being nice can really go a long way towards getting you exactly what you want, or sometimes even something better. Thanks for joining this episode of the Travel Tutor. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions and if there's any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes. And be sure to click on subscribe. We're here to help you get the most out of booking your travel.